Guys, Benoit here. First video in a long time. I've moved in my new house now and have a new setup. Just going to go over some cards that I'm going to be sending off for a PSA grading submission. The stack on the right actually belongs to a friend. His mom was cleaning out his childhood home and found a bunch of Pokemon cards. He's not interested in collecting them, so he gave them to me to sell. So I picked out what was in really good condition and figured I'd go ahead and get it graded, see if I can get more money for him. But first off, so we'll put this off to the side. First off, we have this Kadabra Shadowless in pretty good condition. It's got like a white nick up here and a white nick up there. I'm expecting probably a 9. It could be a 10 though. It just depends on how the grader's feeling about those nicks. Shadowless Dragonair as well. Same thing as the Kadabra, has a little white nick. Probably a 9. We'll see what they do. Lapras. This one's condition isn't all that great, but still, even as like a 7, these are still worth quite a bit, where it's it makes sense to go ahead and get it graded to sell instead of just trying to sell raw. Flareon, especially because that helps with, you know, trying to sell this raw. You have people who are going to buy it and think they're getting a steal, and maybe they might get upset if the condition's not as good as they thought it was based on just pictures I try to upload or scans I try to take. So I'd rather just have PSA grade it, put their stamp of approval on it and what grade they think it is, and then sell it that way. Flareon, kind of the same deal as the Lapras. Decent condition, but definitely not mint. You can see whitening. So we'll let PSA take a crack at this, give it a grade, and try to sell it that way. Still worth quite a bit, even if it pulls a 6, I think. These are still worth something. He also had a ton of Japanese cards. So we have Blastoise, which isn't in perfect condition, but still, you know, worth getting graded. Still goes for quite a bit more once you grade it. Let's go ahead and pick up the rest of these, go through them pretty quickly. So Dragonite, I think this one might be in pretty good condition. I see like one white nick there, and that's about it. His Japanese stuff was actually in really good condition compared to what he had, so I would not be surprised if a few of these came back as 10s. Unfortunately with Japanese, it hasn't taken off the same way the English has. So if these did come back as 6, they also wouldn't be worth very much. But I think a lot of these will grade in the either 9s or 10s. Misty's Tears, the band card. This one's actually in pretty good shape, so I'm hoping for a 9 or a 10. That'll be worth a decent chunk of change. Blossom Jumpluff, these probably won't be worth much. This is the last one. It's just a funny Iron Man card I found that was actually in decent condition. That was in the pile of cards he had. I think it's like you can buy it for $5 on eBay, but I'm curious to see what it'll do if I get it graded. I couldn't find a ton graded for this, but I'm mostly not super familiar with these type of trading cards, so we'll see what happens with that. Next up is stuff that I've bought to get graded over the past year or so. We have this Blastoise. I actually got this in a lot with a Shadowless or a PSA first edition gray stamp Ghastly for like $170, I think. The Ghastly on its own, I'm already getting offers of around $250 for it on eBay. So that'll make it up. And then you have this Blastoise, which is in decent condition. Even a 6 and up, you still make more. You make pretty good money on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get it graded. See what I can get. These I bought last year for pretty cheap. I think they were like $1 a piece. They go for, I think, 40 if they grade 10s, which I believe these will. The risk with these is that if they grade 9, hardly anybody wants them. That's the hard thing with new product, is that there's so much of it that people aren't wasting their time on 9s. They just want the 10s. So they'll pay for the 10s, and the 9s go for what they cost plus $10 for the grading fee. So taking a risk with these, but really hoping they come back as 10s. Manectric, I sent off one of these. I believe I got a 10 on it. This one will probably be a 10. It's got a little white nick up there. I think just about all of these have those kind of nicks. Just because the nature of their pre-release, they're just put into a little sleeve together. So hoping that'll come back as a 10 or a 9, still be worth some money. These two Electivires, I actually have a bunch of these that are pretty mint. I'm just sending them off, kind of trickling them to PSA. I think these will pull 10s, hopefully. I could see maybe a 9 for the fact that it's off-center, and I think this one has a little nick on it, but other than that, these are mostly flawless cards, so hoping for 10s on those. I got these 2 Charizards. I actually bought these off somebody on Verbank for $45 a piece, which I think even in 9s, I'd more than make my money back on these. So hoping for 10s. There isn't any hollow scratching on them. Centering is at least pretty good on this one. This one slightly off left to right. Backside, maybe a little white nicks on the corners, but you know, that's all up to PSA how they feel about that. And then we have this promo Charizard, which not worth a ton, but hey, it's Charizard, it's promo. Sorry for the hair, guys. My cats are shedding like crazy. But yeah, promo Charizards are worth money, so hopefully I think this should grade a 10. I'm not seeing anything that would make it not grade a 10 other than being slightly OC, but with these EXs and all this stuff going around the side, it's really hard to tell. And then I have this Dragonite EX that's in really good condition. I expect this one to pull back a 10 too, so hoping for really good grades on those so I can make some sales. And last but not least, I still have this old kind of nasty container that I got from somebody I bought. So when I bought a ton of Hidden Fates stuff, I bought these. If you don't know, these are I believe these were promos that came in the Hidden Fates Elite Trainer box. Back then they were all over the place. I remember on, I don't know if it was Verbank or where I got it through, but somebody was doing a deal where for $20 you could buy one of these and have it graded, all in one fell swoop. So I got like 3 or 4 during that time. Sold them all for like $30, between $30 and $40 once they came back in as 10s. For whatever reason, with the pandemic, this promo and I know the Ho-Oh promo from Shining Legends have shot up in price. These things go today for $40 to $60 sealed, which all of these are sealed, and you might not be able to tell, but these are all actually still sealed. The back flaps are just folded, or the flaps are just folded down behind it. I bought this off somebody on Verbank at the height of Hidden Fates craze, where everybody was opening a ton of product. I think the deal was I bought all of these for $3 a piece, and they were 25, so $75 all in on these. I need to go through and just check centering and check the backs, but you know, if centering or the back isn't perfect, I can just sell it on eBay for $40, or I can get these graded. If it pulls down the 10, it goes for over 200 right now, which is just mind-boggling because there's so many 10s out there. But I guess it's just a very popular card. I think I already have one of these in my collection in 10, or I have one that's ready to get graded in it, that I think will pull 10. But these are all just for sale as part of the business side. But yeah, kind of nuts what the pandemic has done to prices and how these have exploded. So yeah, I'm hoping. I need to go through these and figure out which ones are going to pull 10, but I mean, I have 25 of them, so it'll be insane if they all end up being 10 worthy. But I expect probably maybe half will be 10 worthy, and so that's still a pretty good return on $3 a card, and then about $11 to grade it. So you're talking $14 in, and you get maybe 200 out. Even the 9s go for, I want to say, over 100 now. But yeah, that's pretty awesome. It's like lightning striking. I don't know if I could make it happen twice, but still pretty cool. I've had these sitting. I haven't felt motivated to go through them and figure out which ones would be to get graded, because when I bought them, they were only $3 cards. You could buy them on eBay for like $6 or $8. So I just didn't have any motivation to go through 25 cards and try to figure out which ones are going to get graded. But now that they're worth, 40 to 60 standalone, and then tons graded, I'm going to go ahead and finally work through these and try to figure out which ones I want to send off. That's kind of it for this submission. I know PSA is running kind of slow lately, so who knows. I'm not actively buying a ton of cards right now just because we moved into our new house and I have a kid coming on the way. Actually, in a couple of weeks we're going to have a baby boy. So I'm not spending a whole lot of money on cards. I'm just trying to do stuff for the business, so I won't have a whole lot of collection updates between now and whenever those PSA cards come back, if any at all. So hopefully next time you guys see a video from me, I'll have these back from PSA graded. Thanks for watching.